Michael Keaton assassinations? Let's fucking do this! Hey everyone, welcome to another review. Here's my review for the movie American Assassin. Yes, American Assassin stars Dylan O'Brien, Michael Keaton, Sanaa Lathan, and Taylor Kitsch. And this movie is directed by Michael Cuesta, the guy who previously directed the movie Kill the Messenger with Jeremy Renner. Fantastic film. If you haven't seen the movie yet, check it out. It's fantastic. Overlooked dramatic film. Great film. And yes, this is the new action thriller espionage film that has Michael Keaton in it. When you put Michael Keaton in your movie, you already got me sold. I love me some Michael Keaton stuff. So yeah, the story of this movie is about this CIA black ops soldier, and basically he gets trained by Michael Keaton, and basically they have a mission. The mission's run by a CIA director played by Sanaa Lathan, and basically they have to track down this operative who's basically almost causing a world war with the Middle East and stuff. And yeah, this is a typical spy espionage action thriller film, and yeah, and it has America in the title, so yeah, that should sell ya. And yeah, I was, from the trailers alone, I was kind of sold by this movie. The trailers really hooked me, and it looked like a really fun action movie, and again, I love me some Michael Keaton. I love a good action movie. This movie could have been a hit or miss, though. It could have been a very generic, by the numbers action film. And when the reviews came in, the early reviews, people weren't really liking this film, so I went to this movie not knowing what to expect, and my opinions, I like this movie. Yeah, I might be in the minority with this, but you know what? I actually had a lot of fun with this movie. It's not a great movie. There's a lot of corniness to this film. There's a lot of really, stupid scenes in this movie that really you gotta suspend your disbelief to actually believe it, and there are some things that just don't work in this film, but the things that do work really strong, and yeah, I'm gonna get to the positives. The positives first is Dylan O'Brien. Dylan O'Brien plays the lead character in this movie, and he is so freaking good in this film, and yeah, I'm not very familiar with him. I know he was on Teen Wolf or some shit, and yeah, I'm not familiar with his acting, but after seeing him in this film, I can't wait to see what he does with his career. He is so good in this movie. He's great, he's likable, he's really badass in this film, and yeah, Dylan O'Brien hands down stole this film, and he was great. Michael Keaton was also really solid as this trainer who trains Dylan O'Brien stuff through all these cool, obscure ways of assassinations and stuff, and it was really cool. The dynamics between the two of them was great. Michael Keaton had some really funny and kick-ass one-liners in this movie, and he was also just really enjoyable to watch. It's Michael Keaton. He always gives a good performance in any movie he plays in. Sanaa Lathan was also really good. She plays a very good role in this film, and even Taylor Kitsch. I'm very hit and miss when it comes to Taylor Kitsch. Sometimes he really impresses me, sometimes he just freaking annoys the shit out of me. Battleship. He's the villain in this movie. If this movie came out 10 years ago, he would have probably been at Dylan O'Brien's role. He would have probably been the lead character in this film, but he's the bad guy. He's a very kind of one-dimensional bad guy, not a very well-written bad guy. That's mostly due to the screenplay that he's not a well-written character, but Taylor Kitsch, for what he has to work with, he gives a decent performance, and he's actually pretty enjoyable in the film. He's not great, but he's fine. The character itself, his character, isn't a very interesting character, or a very well-written, or very well-fleshed-out character, but Taylor Kitsch, for what he has to work with, gives a good performance, and I like them. So the performances by the majority of the cast was really solid, especially Dylan O'Brien. Dylan O'Brien, again, can't praise him enough. He was amazing, so freaking cool, so badass in this movie. Also, what was good was the action. There was some really good quality action scenes in this film. Great hand-to-hand combat, great gunplay in this movie. It's no John Wick or anything, but it is really exciting and really fun to watch. Kind of like Atomic Blonde. Not really the same style, but just a fun action movie, and yeah, it was enjoyable. And unlike Atomic Blonde, this movie's not overly complicated like Atomic Blonde. Atomic Blonde, as much as I did like Atomic Blonde, I thought it was a very fun movie. It was overly convoluted and very overly complicated for no reason. This movie is very simple and to the point, and it also has a lot of fun action scenes. There's also some pretty good cinematography in the film, so that's a plus in my books. And yeah, I also can't praise enough the beginning of this film. The first about 10 minutes of this film, I'm not going to say what happens, but wow, did this movie ever hook me? Like, even if you don't like this movie, and if you hate this movie, you're with the majority consensus that this movie's very generic. I think most people will agree that the first 10 minutes of this film is really solid. Like, it really hooks you into this story, and yeah, I loved it. Again, I won't say what happens, but how this movie begins was so brilliant. It's like a 10 out of 10 just for a beginning opening. Like, out of like movie openings, like, my god, what a killer way to open the film. The movie as a whole is not 10 out of 10, but the opening, so fucking good. That's how you open a film. My god, that hooked me. Yes, the movie kind of just drops and, you know, kind of lowers the quality, but that opening, so fucking good. And yeah, those are my positives, and honestly, there are enough good positives for you to watch and have fun with this movie. There's good action scenes, it has a kick-ass opening, the characters are pretty good, and there is really good, strong performances in this film. So yeah, that enough is enough for a recommendation, hands down. So yeah, if you want more than that, then yeah, you might be disappointed, because yeah, the flaws of this movie is the story is not like overly bloated or convoluted like Atomic Blonde, but it is a bit cheesy and a bit generic, and yes, a bit by the numbers action movie. The story like this has been done to death. It's been done in a bajillion other action films, and there's nothing new about this movie. And the movie, how it starts off, it tries to be very brutal, gritty, and realistic, and then in the middle of the film, it gets really, really cheesy, and you really gotta suspend your disbelief in some moments. You're like, wait, how is that physically possible? And you also gotta buy that this main character becomes like one of the greatest assassins within like 2 years. Yeah, within 2 years, this guy, who's just like a normal guy, normal soldier, becomes like the greatest assassin ever. So yeah, that's a little hard to believe, but again, the film itself is still really fun and enjoyable. Yes, there's some cheesiness. The story itself is very by-the-numbers action movie story, action movie plot. And there are things that don't make sense of this movie. But again, the stuff that is good is really good. I can see not a lot of people liking this movie. Some people probably want something more cool, or maybe something like another John Wick, or a much smarter film. This movie is not a smart film whatsoever, trust me. But I still think it's a very fun, enjoyable action movie. Again, that's just my opinion. Like, everyone has different tastes and different opinions. Like, I couldn't get into the movie Mother, but a lot of people can really enjoy that film. I didn't really get into also Hitman's Bodyguard, but again, there was a target audience for that film. This movie I liked. I guess I was the target audience for this movie. I don't know how to explain it. I had fun with it. I liked the action, I liked the characters, I liked the performances. And as much as the story was cheesy and by the books, I still had not much issues with it. I had fun with this movie. It's by no means a great film, but kind of like Atomic Blonde, I still had fun with this movie. Not every action movie has to be this spectacular, smart, clever masterpiece film like a John Wick or something, or a Die Hard. It's a fun action movie. It's not amazing, but you know what? I can recommend it. If you just want to go to movies and have fun with a simple action movie, I think you'll get your money's worth. So yeah, I can recommend American Assassin. So yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give the movie American Assassin a 7.4 out of 10. So yeah, by no means a great film, but you know what? I liked it. So yeah, that was my review for the movie American Assassin. So in the comment section below, please tell me, what is your thoughts and opinions of this movie? Are you with the critics? Are you against the critics? Do you think this is a very generic action film that people shouldn't see? Or do you think it's still a lot of fun, and you think it's a cool movie that, you know what, it's a fun popcorn film? What side are you on about this movie? Give me your thoughts and opinions, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.